Hi, my friends. I want to do a quick review of the fakery. I think, we have John Levy, Michelle Gibson, a bunch of others do great research about talking about how the narrative history is his story, that it's all fake. And we talk about resets, the mud flood, all these other things. But it's really interesting how the narratives, we hear these backstories about them trying to explain history and how nothing really kind of lines up. Well, this is a weird one because this kind of came out of nowhere. I was talking to Brother Raleigh, and he's completely awake. He's aware of the Mandela effect. He's aware of, the fakery, the resets, mud flood, well, everything. The reason I bring that up is because I rely on him a lot, and he's got a lot of valuable information, and he's always really solid. If he's having a slight bit of doubt, he'll just say, well, I'm not so sure, Kirk. But anyway, so we were talking about the Liberty Bell. For some reason, he brought that up because he'd been to Philadelphia many times. He said he'd been there over 6 times. He said he used to make regular trips to Philadelphia. And what was interesting is he said that originally when he used to go look at the Liberty Bell, that it used to be more of a brownish tone. And even before he asked me, because he said, I got to tell you about the Liberty Bell. He goes, I want you to explain to me all the photographs you saw and all over the years from growing up, from when I was in grade school to even when I was in high school. Where he goes, can you describe the Liberty Bell to me? I said, well, it has a brownish tint to it. And he said, well, you're wrong, because now it's a bright, like goldish, extremely bright gold color. And I said, what? And he goes, yeah. He goes, it is. And he goes, so anyway, the reason we bring this up is that this has actually been talking about through a Mandela effect. He's taking it from a Mandela effect that the Liberty Bell had actually changed he thought around maybe 2016 or something. Because anyway, he said the last time he went to the Liberty Bell, then it had this really bright, shiny tone. Okay. And I'm heading with all this. So, if you look at this photograph, this one, I looked at a couple of these. Oh, well, anyway, this one that I'm looking at right here, that one's, yeah, but see, that could have been because of the flash and 19 tone, but it is a little bit bright, even the wood, compared to, let's see, like this one down here in the Wikipedia, right? That is a big difference between the thing. But, look how, this is what I remember, and not this. Because even with the flash, boy, that's pretty bright, right? And so anyway, and I'm trying to look at the angle even. I'm not no angle expert. But let's see. We have to zoom on this because it looks like the A is being split here. Anyway, look at the angle where this lines up. I know that the photograph's being taken more of this from this angle versus head on like this one. But it just does not look impossibly the same. There's some knots there. And okay, let's take a look at this other one. See if there's knots and stuff here. What? Why does it say I can't zoom in? Well, shoot, you gotta be kidding me. Well, here's one here. Let's see if there's 2, 3 knots. I'm trying to quick look. The reason I want to show you, because there's something I'm going with this. Knots there, I'm looking there. There's a couple knots. Pretty close. The wood knots, everything. Well, anyway. So here's the thing is, you got this copper looking one. He said that and he physically looked at these, right? And he said that this one's really bright now, more, and he said it was always because even these photographs, I said, what about these photographs of the brownish tone? He goes, yeah, but he goes, I never, even those the photographs, I never saw this. See how it's like got this kind of shiny edge to it? That's okay, because the one I always saw had more of a dark tone like this and like this. Well, anyway. So the reason we'll bring this up is this one's even got like a green tone. You gotta be kidding me. Huh. That's weird. See, that does not look normal. That looks like the photograph's actually overexposed too, by the way. Look at the background here. See how it's white? It's got too much contrast. So these could have been modified somewhat by people's contrast, this, that, and things like this. But anyway, what I'm really heading on, I'm not so concerned. Well, I am. It's interesting, the Mandela effect. But what I really want to talk about is he brought up something that I noticed even before he mentioned it. I took a good look and I was zooming in on this thing, and he out of the blue, he goes, Kirk, he goes, I stood right in front of the Liberty Bell, and he goes, everybody talked about this crack had occurred, and he goes, He goes, it looked like somebody had machined it. He goes, there was no crack. It had been machined. I said, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, it looked like somebody had machined the thing, that it wasn't a true crack. And I said, well, God, I said, I was just looking. I was going to ask you about what you thought about that crack. Anyway, so if you actually look at this crack, you can see it has like these, you can see this waving right here, weaving in and out on that left where it's weaving in and out. It literally looks like somebody came in there with a tool and actually made the crack. I'm seriously, look, and even on this side of it, see that there? It looks like you got these little teeth from a tool each side. You got to be kidding me. The whole thing is